Hello everyone, welcome back to Huntcraft. You may have seen the news, we have a new update about the next patch and a date as well. So that's fun. It's in a few days, and as far as I know, this will be the last patch before we hear some news about the long-awaited new engine upgrade and the new map. I remember lots of content creators were saying that we should be getting news about the engine in April. Not sure if that's officially confirmed, but I'm sure they have some sources, so whenever it is, it can't come soon enough. Crytek have officially released now a teaser and a trailer. Let's quickly go through them. So the first one was a short teaser. And no, I don't think we're getting moving trains. This isn't Warzone. And that looks like a handle of some sort of conversion pistol, and we never really see it, so I doubt it's a hint for anything new. And this is a Lamat, and that's a skin that we already have in the game. It's called the Brass Flower, I think. And those two guns are there for a reason, but it's really hard to tell what they are. One at least looks like a pump action, but we already have a couple of pump action shotguns, so I'm not sure what that would be. The other one is probably the one that's been officially announced, which is the new rifle.
Take me to the bounties.
Why did they send him? We always
And then the second, longer trailer. Here we see a clear look at the new Hunter. We've got some Lincoln vibes there. And he is sporting the new gun, and we see the lever action.
Why him? Don't know. But he brought.
Now this shot has a new Bornheim skin, and I think a new syringe or something. And then there's 3 versions of the new gun, because we can see the levers, this one and that one. And that also looks like the same gun, because I can see the lever, but I'm not sure if that's a silencer at the end of it. And then this one clearly doesn't have a lever, so that is probably the new mystery bump action something. And here we can see them separately. The new Hunter has the new rifle, and the Sheriff has the new pump action gun.
He talks about law. Human law?
And that's a Lamat and a Bornheim, so none of those are new.
The time has come to write our story with lead. Till there's no one left to hear how it ends. That's Louisiana justice. Steel and gunpowder will lay down the truth. And out of that, bring some order to this place.
So that's the event. It's called Desolation's Wake, and it's going to be starting on March 6th, and it will end on May 8th. So what we can confirm from this trailer is a new Hunter and the new officially announced gun, which is the Mako 1895 carbine. I think it's based on the real-life Ruger made by Marlin 1895 rifle. Looks really pretty. And it's going to be a long ammo gun. And we can also see that it's a repeater type of gun, so levering would work on it. I think that will be the first long ammo levering gun. I don't know if we should be worried, but depending on the fire rate, it might be a tame version of the Afto then. That would be scary. Weird enough, it's also getting a claw variant, which I think was exclusive to pistols till now. So it's the first non-pistol with a claw and the first long ammo levering gun. Which sounds cool. It's not too crazy, yet it's unique enough, I guess. As long as it's not some sort of OP gun that they end up struggling with balancing, then I'm not fussed. We also seem to have a new streamer skin coming for the baseball bat. It looks pretty cool. It would be nice if it's followed up by a new Negan hunter or something. I think that's it for the confirmed news. We'll know more, I guess, around the weekend, or at least in the coming few days before the release. They'll keep feeding us bits about the traits and if there's any new map conditions and new mechanics, things like that. On the topic of news, which in this case I think it's bad news, Crytek have made the decision to remove the MMR data from the local attributes file. If you didn't know, basically the screen where you go to see your last match details has its data saved locally on your computer. That file has one extra piece of detail, which you don't see when you look at it in the game. That is basically the MMR in its exact number instead of just the stars. So there were multiple third-party websites that would read that file for you and give you some detailed data about your last game, which is basically the exact same thing you see in the game, with the exception of MMR being a number instead of just 3 or 4 or 5 stars. And if you're nerdy enough and want to know this stuff, it's just fun. It lets you see your own progress. You can tell if the player that killed you is much better than you or much worse. You can see a graph of your own MMR fluctuation, which means you can visualize your own progress. You can look at it and say, oh, okay, I sucked this past week. I died a ton, and I just shouldn't play that gun I was playing all week last week. Or the other way around, you can see a visual progression of your improvement, see yourself killing players that are better than you, and because we know the MMR numbers that constitute the brackets, you can predict how close you are to the next like 4-star or 5-star or 6 stars ranks. And it's not like you can even see this data during the game. You can only see it after you finish the game and you're back in the lobby. I personally could never see any harm in this at all, so I was still optimistic, hoping that maybe Crytek will announce that this is in prep for the new engine maybe, and they're going to be releasing like a proper online tool to see more fleshed out stats. And that's nothing new, a lot of games do this. I want to know my best performing gun, for example, or what weapon kills me the most, or the weapons I've used in my highest skill games. You can imagine there's a ton of stats that can be nice and useful for those who are like nerdy enough to want to know them. But unfortunately, Crytek have doubled down on this on Reddit, saying that they have no plans to release any API tools to replace the tools that they have just killed, and their justification was that some community members are not comfortable with their stats being shared publicly, which sounds pretty silly to say the least. Sounds like players are being doxed or something. It's very disappointing to see them take a stance like this. I can already see a player's KD and stars, a number of teams that they've killed in the game, which they already allow players to hide. All those apps did was show me that I killed some stranger online whose name is Timmy69 and their MMR is 2900. That's info for me. I want to judge myself and see if I'm getting better or worse. If I want to judge a player, I'll judge them in the queue when I inspect them. If they have hidden stats, I'll actually leave. If I see their loadout and it's too silly or they don't have any healing tools or consumables, I'll also leave. A 15 or 60 second penalty is far better than wasting my time with a brain-dead player that will waste my time in a full game. Or will they then allow players to hide their loadouts too when they're queuing, if they deem this as something that's shared publicly and makes people uncomfortable? It's safe to assume that for the majority of players who enjoyed seeing their progress on these tools, it feels like this makes the game even more casual and stars are more meaningless. And those are the hardcore players. These are the fans who love the game and actually stick to it in the long run. On a funny note, this reminds me of probably the best review ever made for Hunt. It was by Skillup. He literally said this:
Hunt Showdown feels like what you'd make if you didn't give a fuck about making something popular. It feels like all the devs at Crytek were at a poker game one night and one of them says, "God, I hate Fortnite." And everyone else is like, yeah, me too. And then someone says, "Well, that's where all the money is, I guess. We should make a battle royale game and make it like Fortnite so we can all make bank and buy yachts and shit." And then the other guy looks at him and says, "You know what? Fuck that. We're going to make a battle royale game and we're going to make it how we want to make it. And it's going to be so hardcore and so inaccessible that no one but us will want to play it." Yeah, good idea. And that's how Hunt was born.
So, Crytek made a very unique and difficult game that's already hard to get into. Hunt can only keep people who are really addicted to it and see its quality. It takes time for this game to hook you, and that's already a small fan base. And then suddenly, they're trying to make it like snowflake casual friendly. It feels like a betrayal of what the game is. Anyway, that's too much ranting already. I'd rather be excited for the new patch and hopefully some news soon about the big engine upgrade and the new map. So it's best to keep this video short and sweet. Those are my thoughts anyway. What are yours? Please let me know in the comments what you think of the news and if you've used any of those tools that Crytek have just killed. And if you liked the video, please remember to like and subscribe and maybe check out my previous ones. See you in the next one.